So I came across this odd story that is currently unfolding in Tempe, Arizona. Apparently, a Wells Fargo employee was found dead inside of her cubicle at the Wells Fargo corporate office. Now, where the story gets weird is supposedly this woman died right at her desk and was inside her cubicle for 4 days, almost 5 days, without anyone saying anything or supposedly knowing anything. As far as I know right now, no one reported the woman missing. The investigation is still ongoing. Law enforcement say they don't suspect any foul play, but this woman was dead right in her cubicle, surrounded by other cubicles and people just working for 4 days, and no one knew. Now, employees who also work there, they say that they were complaining for days that there was a weird smell, an odd smell, and the smell was getting worse. And their bosses were telling them, hey, nothing to worry about. It's the plumbing. We're having problems with the plumbing. We're having problems with the pipes. They were told to get back to work and just not say anything. Little did they know, their coworker is dead inside of a cubicle, right next to them basically, and her body has been there for days on end. Literally, with no one knowing a thing, which is kind of odd, because you got security cameras. I looked into it. This building has like 24/7 security. So even if no one else is there working, security is there, walking around, looking at things. And I don't know, it's just kind of odd that her body laid there undiscovered for 4 days. Despite, the fact that people are complaining about the smell, you would think that someone would notice, hey, why hasn't this person showed up to work? Or better yet, hey, why didn't this person leave work, But it is what it is. Let's go ahead and roll this news clip. Let's see what they're saying over there on the local news, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
There's an investigation underway in Tempe after a Wells Fargo employee died while on the job. A new timeline released by police suggests that her body was there for 4 days before being discovered. Gabriela Bacara from our sister station, 12 News in Phoenix, has the story.
A Wells Fargo employee went to work the morning of Friday, August 16th and never went home. Tempe police tell 12 News 60-year-old Denise Prudhomme scanned into work at 7 o'clock in the morning. 4 days later, police responded to the office building near Washington Street and Priest Drive for reports of a subject down. Prudhomme was declared dead. The Tempe Police Criminal Investigation Bureau is investigating, but do not suspect foul play. A Wells Fargo employee exclusively spoke with 12 News, but asked not to be recorded or identified out of fear for their job. They say a colleague found Prudhomme dead at her desk in a cubicle while walking around the building on Tuesday, August 20th. Prudhomme's cubicle was reportedly on the 3rd floor and away from the main aisle. This employee says several people had smelled a foul odor, but passed it off as faulty plumbing. They say while most Wells Fargo employees at this Tempe location work remote, the building has 24/7 security, and someone should have found Prudhomme sooner. The incident left several employees feeling scared and uneasy. This employee wants to see new safety protocols in place, telling me, quote, "It's negligence in some part." A different worker also spoke with 12 News anonymously.
It was just uncomfortable.
Again, calling on the company to do more.
Body was there about 4 days before anybody found it, before anybody walked up to her and just to say hi, make sure she's okay. She was just laying on her desk.
A Wells Fargo spokesperson previously sent 12 News a statement saying, in part, "We are deeply saddened by the tragic loss of our colleague at our Tempe office," adding counselors through our employee assistance consulting service are available to support employees. An employee tells me their direct management offered those services, addressed the incident, and told workers the building was thoroughly cleaned.
Now, when I look at this story, I don't necessarily think there was foul play involved. Although anything is possible, this woman is working at the corporate offices of Wells Fargo. Is there a possibility she came across some type of financial transactions that she wasn't supposed to know about and she got snuffed right at her desk and they left her there? Sure, things like that actually happen. But I don't think that's the case. I think this story is interesting for other reasons, and I think it provides us with valuable lessons. And one of those lessons is don't kill yourself over your job. Don't overexert yourself to the point that you're passing out or literally dying at your desk. I don't know if this woman was suffering from health complications or what. What I do know is she showed up at work. You know, she showed up at work despite whatever she was going through and literally dropped dead right there at work. And I think this says a lot about, it just says a lot just in general about society and how people bust their ass every day working hard for corporations and companies that don't care about them at all. Understand that I get it. Everyone has to pay bills. Everyone has to keep their life going. Everyone's got to keep the money coming in. I understand that. But you got to value your life more than your work. And you got to understand that these people view you as replaceable. You can literally drop dead at your cubicle, at your computer, and they won't even notice. And that's what happened here. 4 days. It took them 4 or 5 days to finally say, hey, let's go check in on this woman. And oh, here she is dead. We're working all around it. Buzzing like bees in a beehive. You know, buzzing around the office, doing all of this work around a cubicle with a dead woman in it. And we're all too focused on our job. And we're all too focused on making money, and the company's too focused on making money, that we lost the value of human life. We lost the value of an employee who is laying here dead, you know, as we kind of ignore it. So I think it just says a lot. I can't necessarily put it in words, especially here on YouTube, because, you know, the wording of things, I kind of got to dance around certain phrases and certain words. But I just think it really reflects a lot of what's going on, you know, in the world these days, where people are literally putting it all on the line for their jobs. People are, you know, sometimes working themselves to the point of exhaustion and literally dying for these companies that don't care about them at all. And I think it's absolutely disgusting that we have a workplace with other people there. You got security, you got janitors, you know, you got all of that, and somehow, some way, they miss the fact that there's a dead woman at her desk inside this building. You know what I mean? Like, have we lost all sense of humanity? I don't think this is something that would have happened 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Because I think back then we were surrounded by more decent people, or people who actually cared about their neighbors, their coworkers and friends. You would think someone would just go check in her cubicle real quick, just make sure she's okay, poke your head in, something, but nothing. Because everyone's kind of cool, cold-hearted towards everyone. And we're really moving into an age where people are kind of operating like machines, because we have lost humanity. We have lost, you know, the value of human life. And how can you look at these people and differentiate them from AI and computer technology? Because at the end of the day, it's like these people are operating like computers. You know, not even caring about the coworker that's dead in the cubicle next to them, stinking up the place. They're just, you know, they come in, do their job, they go out. And in many ways, I feel like that's kind of programming people, numbing them down, numbing their feelings down to where they're kind of like worker drones. And I think these type of people are easier to control as well. So I just feel like there's so many conversations that can spiral out of this situation, a tragic situation that should have never happened. Because I don't care what job you're working at, they should value you enough to the point that if they don't know what's going on for 4 days, you know, and your body is literally laying there in their office building and they don't know, that's just so gross. And I'm not saying it's gross because of the body, although that's gross as well. It's gross because no one even noticed. And it just lets you know just how insignificant you are to a lot of the powerful people and the powerful corporations and the big banks and everything that are running this country and running the world. But for now, I want you all to run down to that comment section and let me know what you think about this story. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next video.